Hey guys! So last night, I saw the Mario Galaxy movie, so I wanted to talk about my initial thoughts before I do a full review. The first part of the video isn't going to contain spoilers, but I will go into spoilers towards the end of the video. But I would have to say, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was better than the first movie. I know the critic scores were low, but honestly, I really don't care about them. I feel like they were kind of exaggerated with a lot of the things that I've seen. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch the movie for my own thoughts on it, and I liked it. I'm not gonna act like it's a masterpiece or anything. The story was kind of shallow, and it did have some issues with pacing, and I can definitely understand why some people didn't like it, but it was a great time for Mario fans. It was full of fun little references, it was animated really well, it just looked beautiful overall in terms of visuals and everything. And I did like how they represented a lot of locations, characters, and world building of the Galaxy games, as well as other Mario games, since this didn't just feel like a Galaxy movie. It felt like Galaxy plus like Odyssey, Mario 2, and a ton of other Mario games. So it definitely does feel like just like a sequel to the Mario movie more than like a standalone Galaxy movie. I mean, you could get that impression from most of the trailers, but it still did have like a lot of Galaxy representation, and I just really enjoyed it overall. And I feel like each character was handled well. Nothing felt jarring or out of place, and each of them got a decent amount of screen time, except for one, which I'll get into in a little bit. Luigi had a much bigger role. Yoshi had some great moments. Yoshi was definitely a great character. Peach and Toad had their quest, and Mario was basically the same as the first movie. So I feel like they were all handled pretty well. And there were basically no pop songs as well. It was mostly like the actual movie soundtrack, which mostly consisted of like remixes of like songs from various Mario games, like especially Galaxy 1. But the soundtrack was incredible. I feel like they definitely handled it pretty well, which is definitely fitting for a Galaxy movie. That was definitely something I was hoping they would get right, and it sounded incredible. I think they could have referenced some of the songs from Galaxy a bit more, but they did have most of the highlights here from the Galaxy soundtrack. And with Fox McCloud, at first I was a bit worried with how he would be handled, but I think it was better than I expected. Though I think Lubba would have fit his purpose a bit better in the movie, since she's known for traveling through space and being away from the Comet Observatory, so it would have been nice to see Lubba represented in this movie. It was a little disappointing that she wasn't in it, since she is one of the main characters of Galaxy 2. But I'm happy for Star Fox fans though, and I did like how Fox was portrayed in the movie. And Wart's scene was excellent. It was exactly what I was hoping for. Bubbles kept coming out of his mouth, and there were some funny moments there as well, and the casino was just pretty cool overall. And I feel like his voice with Luis Guzman voicing him was very fitting as well. It definitely was portrayed pretty well. Though, I would say, I feel like he should have had a bit more of a presence in the movie. Like, he was mostly in that scene, and then he was, like, teased later in the movie, but they didn't do much with him. I just wish they did, like, a little more. I'm not sure what they could have done, but it just would have been nice if he got a bit more screen time. Still, though, I like how he was handled. And one of the highlights of this movie that I really liked was Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s father-son dynamic. Definitely one of my favorite parts. It wasn't super deep, but I loved the conflict that Bowser had, either between making amends with Mario or bonding with his son. Both of them were actually handled similarly to how they were in the Mario RPGs, especially the recent RPGs like Brothership. And I like the angle of them being more sympathetic villains and not necessarily being pure evil. Again, it kind of reminds me of the Mario RPGs, like Bowser or Bowser Jr. will work with Mario if they absolutely have to. I mean, I guess also Bowser's Fury in that case with Bowser Jr. So I really like that angle. And Rosalina didn't have enough screen time as expected. The scenes that she was in were good, but I feel like they could have done a bit more. I feel like she should have had her time to shine in the movie rather than just being captured for most of it. It was definitely similar to how Luigi was handled in the first movie. It's a tad disappointing, but I kind of was expecting it, though she did have some good moments, like I said. And I also love how Yoshi was handled as well. I like how Yoshi like wasn't just like an animal or just like a pet to Mario and Luigi. He like actually was like a friend and like actually was intelligent and was able to do things. Kind of like just like I would say like a more intelligent animal buddy type character. I definitely appreciate how Yoshi was handled. It's definitely much more in line with like his earlier appearances in games, rather than that like weird phase that Nintendo went through in the 2010s where they just treat Yoshis like wild animals. So I like how they handled Yoshi as a more capable and sentient character. But now I'm gonna get into the spoilers. So be warned if you haven't seen the movie yet. Okay, I warned you. But the final form for Bowser, being Dry Bowser, is really cool. The design went insanely hard. Like, I like how his hair is actually, like, fire, and he kind of looked more, like, fiery. I thought that design just looked really cool, much more interesting than his design in the actual games. And it was portrayed pretty similarly to New Super Mario Bros. DS, where, like, Bowser falls into the lava, and, like, he comes out as Dry Bowser, but it wasn't quite as gruesome as it was in New Super Mario Bros. DS. Probably for the best. And there are some other cool things that I noticed as well. At one point during the final battle, Mario grabbed the magic paintbrush to summon Mr. Game & Watch. I thought that was a cute little reference. Then there was another cool reference with the Pikmin cameo, with them arriving on Gateway Galaxy on the SS Dolphin. That was cute as well. I love how Miyamoto always has to insert, like, something Pikmin related into everything that he works on. He's one of the biggest Pikmin fans. He created Pikmin and is also one of the biggest Pikmin fans. So I love how he, like, incorporates Pikmin into everything. And I hope he gets to make a Pikmin movie, because I think a Pikmin movie would be pretty cool. And, like, towards the end, Bowser Jr. even summoned Lord of Lightning with the magic paintbrush, which was really cool. They even, like, played the song in the background, but that's when, like, it backfired on him, and, like, Mario decided to save him. So I kind of like that, like, dynamic there of, like, Bowser Jr. and Mario and Luigi not necessarily like fully hating each other, like actually having a bit of nuance to them, like they do in the RPGs. So I definitely appreciated how they handled that. I also thought it was funny how they referenced how slow and unreliable Rob accessories were with like the Rob assistant on Gateway Galaxy. And then during the final battle, Mario used the Red Star, which was nice, because they did not do that power-up justice in Galaxy 1. So I'm glad that power-up finally got its time to shine. They just need to put it in more games. And I also found it funny how, like, Honey Queen was portrayed as well. Like, she sent characters to, like, a labor camp, and, like, she wasn't on screen for that long, but I feel like her presence was handled pretty well. Though I do wish she was in the movie more. I wish there were, like, maybe, like, 1 or 2 more scenes with her. And then with Peach and Rosalina, the bombshell reveal of this movie, I wasn't sure how I felt about them being sisters when I heard the rumors about it. And I actually didn't believe it, too. I said, like, in my final predictions that I didn't think they would handle Rosalina's backstory in that way. But after watching the movie, I feel like they actually handled it surprisingly well, especially since it was meant to be a parallel to Mario and Luigi, as well as Bowser and Bowser Jr. It actually kind of reminded me of how Lubba's backstory was handled with Mary and Lou, so I think there was like a bit of influence there. And Peach having cosmic abilities like Rosalina makes sense. We've seen her be able to heal and use psychic abilities in RPGs, as well as having a powered-up form in Peach Showtime, and being one of the Star Children in Yoshi's Island DS. So I thought that was pretty cool as well, and definitely, like, fitting to how she's portrayed in the game sometimes. And with this, I'm wondering if this will be exclusive to the movie universe, or if they will incorporate this into the actual games. This is such a big retcon that so many people will be familiarized with, that I would be surprised if they don't acknowledge it in the main canon. And finally, we actually got references to the Mario RPGs. Not just a coincidence, not something where if you squint hard enough, then maybe it's a Mario RPG reference. No, they straight up referenced the Mario RPGs. Since at the beginning of the movie, in Rosalina's library, it showed the Dark Prognosticus from Super Paper Mario, a Tippy book, a Sticker Star book, a book with the Watanus symbol from Brothership, basically that symbol that's on Connie's hat, and the Thousand Year Door book. Not Rosalina's storybook, but the other book with a star within a circle. It was just incredible actually seeing these games acknowledged. I know it wasn't much, it was just like a little scene in the library, but still. Like, Nintendo sometimes even skips out on references like that. So it was just really refreshing to see this reference. And Super Paper Mario being acknowledged was amazing as well. I know it's already really cool seeing Thousand Year Door, Brothership, and even Sticker Star, which is kind of funny, being referenced. Like, Super Paper Mario is huge. It's been quite a while since Nintendo has acknowledged that game. And like the Dark Prognosticus as well. Like, man, that was such a cool reference. I really hope this means that Nintendo will incorporate like more references to the Mario RPGs and more things. I'm not getting my hopes up, but like if they're willing to do little things like this, like I would appreciate it if they did things like this more often. And then finally, one thing that I forgot to mention is the fact that Daisy was the character revealed in the post-credit scene, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely one of the characters that I was expecting, so they didn't like pull any curveballs on us. It was like one of the characters we were expecting. Tiny bit disappointed that it wasn't Wario. I feel like Wario would have been a huge reveal, but Daisy makes a lot of sense. Though I would say, if the next movie does have a lot of influence from Super Mario Land, and like just the Mario Land games in general, there is a good chance that Wario will also be in the movie. Actually, I think that Wario could be the main villain of the next movie. Like, since Bowser and Bowser Jr., I feel like their arc as a villain is like complete now. Like, it would feel kind of redundant to bring them back in the third movie, so I feel like Wario, or even Tatonga, would make sense, like as the villain in the third movie. I feel like they could go with either one or both in different contexts, so I definitely think that's a good possibility. But anyways, I really enjoyed the movie. It wasn't perfect, but I feel like it was a great time for Mario fans. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!